Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be making one of my all-time favorite traditional all-natural skincare products, and that is Tallow Balm. So Tallow Balm is extremely nourishing for your skin. It's good for sensitive skin as well as dry skin, and a little bit goes a long way. So there's only a couple ingredients in today's product. We're going to use 100% grass-fed tallow, and we're going to use as our carrier oil jojoba oil. So for every cup of tallow, we're going to use a quarter cup of the carrier oil, and that just makes it so that the finished product doesn't get super hard and stiff like tallow will once it hardens back up. It adds a little bit of softness to it, and jojoba oil is also really good for your skin. So this is good if you have like a rash, or if you have a sunburn, any kind of bug bites, anything like that. This is really good. And then we're also going to add some essential oils to it as well. So for those of you who don't know, tallow is rendered beef fat. But don't worry, you're not going to smell like your favorite steak or a hamburger. Even though that'll catch boys. You're going to, if it's grass-fed tallow and it's rendered the correct way, it won't have that beefy smell. But if there is a slight beefy smell, the essential oils that we're going to use are going to help cover that up so that you don't have that. So what you're going to need for this project is your tallow, your jojoba oil, and your essential oils. We're also going to use a bowl that we can mix it in, because we're gonna whip our tallow. And excuse the bell sound, I have a new kitten and she decided now is the great time to play with her little toy right in the kitchen. And we're gonna use a double boiler to melt down our tallow and then add our jojoba oil, and then we're gonna chill it for about 30 minutes. Once it gets completely melted and combined, we're gonna chill it for 30 minutes so that it hardens up a little bit, and then we're gonna whip it. So let's get started. Okay. So I'm going to take, and it is very hot, so this is semi-soft right now. I'm going to take what's left in this jar. And you can get this, you can actually get it through Azure Standard. I actually ordered it from Walmart.com because it was a little cheaper for the same brand and everything. And these make, really nice Christmas presents for people if you're looking for something to make for people. Because also our skin gets very dry in the winter with like heaters and stuff on. Alright, so that is the end of that jar. And I had about half a cup in there, give or take. Alright, let me grab my other jar. Alright, so the thing about tallow balm or tallow butter is you want to make sure, because it can get grainy, and I've actually had that happen, and that has to do with the cooling process, because the carrier oil and the tallow, they melt and harden up at, or re-solidify, I guess it is, at different rates. So that is part of the issue. And you can see that this tallow is actually kind of grainy now because it's like partially melted because of the heat. All right, so there's a cup of our tallow oil. I'm going to put that into, I just have a metal pan on top of a pan of water, just working as a double boiler. And I can whip it right in this same pan. Alright, so now I'm going to do a quarter cup of my jojoba oil. I think I have a quarter cup left. Ooh, I'm going to have to order more jojoba oil. Okay, there's that. And we're just going to pour that right in there as well. So if you do have some that goes grainy on you, you can actually just remelt it and then re-cool it off in the fridge to solidify it again and then whip it. So what I'm doing is, let me lift you up here, is I'm just stirring this in because I want to make sure that both of the oils are completely stirred into one another so they're not separated or anything. And this is actually turning out to be a very, very quick process because of the heat and because the tallow was already partially melted. Okay, so I'm going to let that just get liquefied, all of it together. And I actually think I'm going to grab a whisk and whisk it in together like this. Okay, so as soon as this is completely liquid, I will bring you guys back. Okay guys, so as you can see, we are back. Our oils are completely melted and clear. So we're gonna go ahead and take them off the heat, and I'm gonna let them sit for a couple minutes to cool off slightly before I add the essential oils. So let me get this over to my workstation and I will bring you guys along. Okay, so we are back here at my little workstation here. And let me grab my whisk. Okay, so I've let this cool down just a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in my essential oils. So I don't like the way my essential oils come out of the jars, so I take the little stopper things out and I just very carefully add in a couple drops. There's 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 4 of the Bali Island. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plumeria, and let's do 3 lavender. Okay, and that's a little bit more than that. All right, and then I'm gonna stir it all together. Get that worked in there. And I want to smell it because I want to see how the fragrance is. And I think I'm going to add some more of the plumeria. So you can add whatever essential oils you want. I might add a little bit of tea tree oil. Let's see. I think I have some tea tree oil. Do I? Yep, I do. Just because tea tree oil is good for your skin. So the nice thing about tallow is, oh, that one's coming out a lot. Okay. All right. Oh, I like that. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna let this cool. I'm gonna actually put it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna let it cool for about 30 minutes. I don't want it to harden completely. I just want it to kind of harden so that I can still whip it up with my mixer. So I will bring you back as soon as it gets to the consistency that I want it at. Okay, so I've let my tallow, jojoba oil, and essential oil chill in the fridge for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna take my blender and I'm just gonna start whipping it. All right, so let me get, I want to scrape down the sides of the bowl because I want to make sure it all gets whipped in there. You can do this in a stand mixer. I just find it easier to do it with a hand mixer just because you have more control. I'm going to scrape the bottom to make sure, and then it's going to get very fluffy. I may need to put this back in the fridge just a little bit. And then you'll see that it is also getting lighter. It started out as a very yellow color and now it's getting a lot lighter as we whip it. And look how soft and silky that is. No grit. And on this, a little goes a long way on this. Moisturizer. Look at that. And then as I do it, I just have some bonus. So I go ahead and rub that in as I get some bonus stuff on me. You can put this on your face, you can put it on your elbows, whatever body part. It's safe. I like to put it on after I've been in the sun. All right, so look at that. It looks like whipped cream almost. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start putting it in my jars. And you can get amber jars. You wanna keep this in a cool place, like cool, dark place, like you don't wanna keep it in direct sun. But I just use mason jars because I have them readily handy. And I just scoop it into the jars. Pressing down so that there's not a lot of air. Wipe the sides down. All right, there's one. And I think I can get at least one little jar here too. And then I'm going to show you guys what to do if your tallow balm does get gritty, because the last batch I did, for some reason it did get gritty. So I'm going to show you guys what to do if that happens. All you're going to do is remelt it and start over. Remelt it, make sure it's all combined, and then put it in the fridge for 30 minutes and then whip it up again. All right, so I'm gonna leave this little bit in here because I can add it to the other jar that I have that I'm gonna remelt. All right, so let me get cleaned up here a minute and we'll come right back. Okay, so here is the jar that I previously made that had gone gritty on me. and I'm just going to put it back into my double boiler here. Get this all cleaned out. All right. Okay, so we're gonna put it back over the double boiler and we are going to remelt everything, put it back in the refrigerator for 30 minutes and whip it back up. So I'll be back when it is melted. Okay, so I have remelted my Tallow Balm that I had made previously that had gone gritty on me. So I'm going to let this cool for just a minute before I put it in the fridge because I don't want to put it in the fridge this hot. The one thing you want to remember is you want to melt your tallow and your oil slowly and gently. You don't want to boil it. You don't want to bring it to a simmer or anything like that. There are some bubbles in here because it was previously whipped, so there's still air bubbles in there. Also, the other thing you want to remember is when you're cleaning up, you do not want to put any kind of tallow down your sink because you will have a plumbing issue to stop your heart. So you do not want to do that. So just take a paper towel, wipe out the bowl, get as much of it out as you can before washing your stuff. Wipe off all of your blender and all that stuff so that you don't get a lot of tallow down your sink. All right, so I'm gonna let this cool off. I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes and then we'll be back to re-whip this previously made tallow that had gone gritty on me. All right, so we are back with our hardened tallow that we re-rendered, or Tallow Balm that we re-solidified. And we are going to whip this up now. Right down. Yep, and the graininess is gone. Look at how smooth and silky that is. And again, a little bit goes a very long way, so you don't need a lot of it. Alright guys, so that is it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up to like the video. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye!